Who Dat Nation? Welcome into another edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. Be sure to join the Golden Gang for 100% free. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. I want to start off first by saying Happy Mother's Day. Show some of your love to your mom in the comment section because, hey, I'll tell you one thing. If she raised you to be a Saints fan, she raised you right. So shout out to all the Who Dat moms out there. Wanted to just take a quick second to say we love you, we appreciate you. But this whole video is going to get very in-depth with the financial side of this Derek Carr retirement. And in case you missed it, yesterday we broke it down, but breaking news around the National Football League, Derek Carr retired after 11 years in the National Football League. So I want to just go through all of the financials here because I think it's important to address that side of things, especially here as the Saints, because they're always dealing with something financially. And for what it's worth, this is really, really, really good news. Some would say it's fantastic news here in New Orleans because of how the cap situation is actually going to be playing out. Now, according to Mike Garafolo, I'm going to go first through some reports, and then we're going to dive into all of the information. So Derek Carr's decision to retire actually gives the New Orleans Saints $30 million in cash and cap relief. In exchange, he gets to keep his $10 million roster bonus back from March, and the team will not seek reimbursement from the signing bonus. Now, this is very good news. This is very interesting because this is actually Derek doing a massive, massive favor here for the New Orleans Saints. And despite speculation where there's bad blood between the organization and the city and, the player, he actually is doing the Saints a massive favor when he could have just strong-armed the team and he could have said, nope, I'm going to sit out. I'm going to be on IR all year. You're going to pay me a ton of money, and that's your problem to deal with. But rather than doing that, he decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just up and retire. And he would have rather, there's reports out there, Derek Carr would have retired than ending up on IR, because if he would have gotten surgery, it would have placed him on injured reserve and he would have missed the entirety of the season. And surgery was the only way back for Derek Carr to be 100%, but that would have sidelined him all year. He didn't want to get surgery. He didn't want to be on IR and miss the whole year. So ultimately, he decided at this moment in time, the best thing for him and his family was to retire. And, I just got to say thank you, Derek. I mean, honestly, there were some good moments for sure. Like, if you're going to sit here and say it was all doom and gloom with Derek Carr, that's not true. There was some really fun moments. I mean, do we need to relive the first 2 weeks of this last year? Derek Carr was absolutely exciting. One of the most fun quarterbacks to watch. The Saints offense was electric those first 2 weeks. But then obviously injuries derailed the season and, we now know what happened. But if you go back in time just to a couple of years ago when Derek Carr signed that 4-year, $150 million contract, you look back and you're like, oh my God, that's a ton of money, yada, yada, yada. It never really was. It was average quarterback money for an average quarterback in the league. And, I will say this. I've seen a lot of Falcons fans coming after me on social media and making fun of the Saints because their quarterback room is atrocious. Meanwhile, they're paying a backup quarterback in Kirk Cousins $40 million this year. He has a $40 million cap hit. Don't look. $40 million backup. Good stuff there, guys. Way to be, financially sound there. Terry. Nice stuff there, Terry Fontenot. All right, let's get into Derek Carr's contract. Want to encourage you to subscribe. Again, friendly reminder, hit the sub button. Saints Now has been giving you content all year long. Live coverage, short form videos, long form videos, anything you want, social media. I mean, we are your one-stop shop for Saints content by fans, for fans. It's our day off. It's Mother's Day. I'm here filming a video before I go see my mom and hang out by the pool and hang out with the family for the day. But I wanted to give you this update. I wanted to give you the information because the Who Dat Nation and the Golden Gang especially deserves it. So join the Golden Gang for 100% free. Sub for, more Saints content. 45,668 subscribers. Doesn't happen on accident. Let's dive into Derek Carr's contract. So this is going to get a little confusing. A lot of numbers, a lot of information I'm about to throw at you. Full transparency. I am not a cap guru. I am not Kai Harley. But I'm going to do my best to interpret this and explain it. So, starting off, Derek Carr's base salary in 2025 was going to be $20.4 million. He had $10 million guaranteed, so a grand total of $30 million in 2025 was going to Carr. In 2026, his base salary inflated to $69.2 million. And you can try and sit here and convince me you're the biggest Derek Carr fan in the whole wide world. You can try and sit here and tell me that the salary cap, I don't care. $69.2 million is way too much for Derek Carr. Was never going to get paid anyway. So how this works now, Derek Carr will keep the $10 million roster bonus from this year, and he's going to walk away. That's coming from Ian Rappaport. Again, that's doing the Saints a favor. So basically, the New Orleans Saints will not have to pay Derek Carr's $30 million in guaranteed salary for the upcoming season, and the team won't seek reimbursement for the $10 million roster bonus and signing bonus that was paid back in March. So, that's the basis. Are we still good? Thumbs up icon if you agree. Yeah? Okay. Let's take this a little bit further. Nick Underhill adding some context. So with Derek Carr's retirement, it will be filed after June 1st, which lets the team split the cap hit, which is, again, good news for the Saints. You're not taking all that cap, you're splitting it up. So the sides were clearly in discussion the entire time. That is very on par, and that matches all the reports of Mickey Loomis saying that he's been in constant communication. Derek Carr saying he's been in constant communication. So that all lines up now. There's clearly been a lot of conversation, and there's been the ability to cooperate on all sides of these things, despite fans, podcasters, YouTubers, social media people, whatever. Everyone just taking information that's leaked and running with it. So there's that. Now we're going to add a little bit more to this. Mike Triplett adding context again. The Saints will owe Derek Carr $10 million from his fully guaranteed roster bonus. So, long story short, the Saints now will owe $70 million over 2 years. We good? As opposed to $69.2 just in 2026. $70 million over 2 years. Some of it from this year, some of it from next year. And right now, as it stands, almost all of the cap savings will be next year. So some of it will be this year in 2025. Not really much. Most all of it is next year. So in 2026, the dead money for Derek Carr's contract will essentially drop from $69.2 million to roughly $39.2. So that $30 million, you drop from $69 to $39 million. Little bit more here. The Saints, before this whole thing, were projected to be anywhere from $42, $43 million to about $46 million over the cap in 2026, with that $69.2 million cap figure in the books. But that is no longer in the books now. We have to wait for all those things to update. We have to wait for past June 1st for all this to process and a lot of that. So right now, as it stands in 2026, the New Orleans Saints are roughly 13 to 16-ish million dollars over the cap in 2026. In 2027, right now, as it stands, you still have $27 million. Or 27, did I say? Okay, right now, this season, 2025, so many numbers, I'm sorry. In 2025, you have about $27 million in cap space to spend, which is a lot of money. You have money to spend on a lot of different free agents, possibly a new veteran quarterback, potentially some wide receiver help, cornerbacks, whatever. But right now, as it stands, the Saints are much, much closer to being cap compliant. Of course, there will be other dead money on the books next year. There will be other contracts. There will be extensions. There will be new contracts that come in. There will be new free agents, trade. There will be different things, and the books will change drastically this time next year. But Derek Carr will be off the Saints books in 2027. The Saints are getting much, much closer to cap compliance. So right now, as it stands, we've talked about rebuilds. The NFL world has said the Saints need to rebuild. They are doing that, and they are doing it at a very rapid pace now. And Derek Carr retiring made that thing happen. The rebuild has now been accelerated because Derek Carr decided to help the Saints out and save a bunch of money. So for what it's worth, Want to say thank you, Derek Carr. Want to just give him a lot of credit. He's helping out the Saints. He didn't have to. I'm a believer. If you were owed money, you're owed money. But Derek Carr decided that he was going to help out the Saints a little bit. So for now, it is Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener season. Rookie minicamp is underway as we speak. Kellen Moore yesterday to media saying that it is an open competition between all three quarterbacks. So Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shough, Jake Haener all go in with the opportunity to leave this offseason and this preseason, this training camp, all of this, you could possibly leave as the QB1. And I do want to say this, I genuinely believe Kellen Moore does view this as a quarterback competition. Like everything he said is like, you have to have an established backup. You have to have an established starter. Like those are true things. But he hasn't said who they were. And now that the Derek Carr conversation has come to a conclusion, and now that we can focus forward on the quarterbacks that are on the roster, the young guys, I think Kellen Moore is open to any of those three winning the competition. I think he's going to put the best player on the field. But every parent has a favorite kid. Every teacher has a favorite student. I think that there is a player by the name of Tyler Shough who is the early favorite, who has the clear edge, because Kellen Moore was the guy who handpicked Tyler Shough, and he was the highest draft pick since Archie Manning all the way back in the 1970s. So Spencer Rattler could potentially be QB1. Jake Haener could potentially be QB1. Tyler Shough more than likely will be QB1, but it is an open competition. So to just kind of recap everything we discussed, the Saints saved a lot of money thanks to Derek Carr. This is now an open quarterback competition. And yeah, the rebuild, it is fully on. It has been fully embraced. And it is, honestly, in my opinion, probably going better than I thought it would be. So we'll have to see if these things pan out. We'll have to see if these signings make sense. The free agency additions, the trade of Devon Godshaw, the draft picks of all these players, 9 different rookies, and then the undrafted free agents. We have to see if all these things pan out and all these things work. But for right now, and as it stands, I think Kellen Moore is doing things right and building things in the correct direction. Now, Saints fans, get in the comment section. What do you think about this whole Derek Carr contract situation? What do you think about the quarterback position for the future? Will it be Shough? Will it be Haener? Will it be Rattler? I want you to get down in the comments. This is Chat Sports. We're going to have a two-way conversation. And y'all stay golden. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And we will see y'all next time.